Hello traders, Rich here, and here's a quick but detailed update on gold. As usual, if you guys like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. As we clearly see, gold has been overall bullish for a while, making higher lows and higher highs, trading inside this rising brown channel. And as per my last picture analysis, we were looking for bottom tops around the lower bound or around our lower brown trend line, acting as a non-horizontal support, if you remember this one. So now price traded higher and it's currently sitting around the upper bound, and also we have this supply zone as we had an aggressive movement downward from it. So price is currently sitting inside the supply. That's why we are expecting a bearish movement. But of course, even though we have a supply zone, we don't sell blindly because price can still trade higher to test the upper bound, which is our upper brown trend line, or even the 1965 before trading lower. Especially like these days, gold has been very strong. But anyway, we follow our rules. So our price around a supply zone will be looking for sell setups on lower time frames. If we zoom into H1, we can see that this bullish movement is trading above this trend line in red, which I call our outer trend line. So for the sellers to take over, we need to see a third swing to form around the lower trend line, and then a break below it. Of course, we can zoom into lower time frames. For example, on M30, you can see a consolidation here, a rising consolidation. So if price breaks it down, we can also expect a bearish movement. However, from a medium-term perspective from H1, this is what I'm waiting for. Then I consider this one as our trigger swing. Then and only then would expect a bearish movement on gold. Meanwhile, and until this happens, until the bears take over, gold would be overall bullish and can still trade higher and higher, as mentioned, from a daily time frame to test the upper brown trend line or even this one in blue. Before we continue, I want to tell you about Tickmill. Tickmill is established in 2014 and is one of the leading Forex and CFD brokers with registered users from more than 200 different countries. Tickmill is a no-dealing desk and ECN broker regulated in many countries like the UK, Cyprus, and recently in South Africa. With Tickmill, you can trade a wide range of instruments, starting from Forex to indices, commodities, and even crypto. Most importantly, with very low spreads and trading fees. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to create one using my referral link in the description below to benefit from 5% discounts on your trading fees. And let's continue. As we clearly see, USDJPY has been overall bullish for a while, making higher lows and higher highs, trading inside this brown channel. And if we zoom in, you can see that we are also bullish from a short-term perspective. If we zoom out to weekly time frame, we can see that the price broke above this resistance area, so it's now turned into a support area. That's why we are looking for buy setups, of course, unless the bears manage to break below the blue support, green trend line, and brown trend line, then the sellers would take over, and then we'll be looking for sell setups on the retest. But for now, until this happens, we are overall bullish, approaching a support area as we mentioned from weekly in blue, and also approaching this lower green trend line. That's why we are looking for trend following buy setups. And I insist on the word looking because we always zoom in to lower time frames for extra confirmation. For example, we can see that from a short-term perspective, we are inside a correction phase, so we are overall bearish. But from a long-term perspective, we are bullish. So we are waiting for a shift in momentum from short-term perspective so that the long-term and short-term view would be lined up and would be both bullish. So as per my trading plan, I'll be waiting for a new swing high to form around the upper red trend line to consider it valid, and for those who know me, to consider it our trigger swing. As usual, I always highlight it in gray and write this like this for our trigger. And of course, price can still break this trend line upward before forming a new swing around it. In this case, we might also have, for example, an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So here's our left shoulder, head, and maybe we'll have a right shoulder. So it doesn't really matter like what bullish reversal setup we will have. For those who watch the videos, this video know that we are looking for buy setups and it depends on the price action. But this is what I'm waiting for now, as per my trading plan. Meanwhile, until the bulls take over by activating the buy, would be overall bearish, and USDJPY can still trade lower, dive inside the support area from daily time frame before trading higher, or even as mentioned from daily and weekly, the sellers can still break the support downward. But for now, let's take it step by step. When the buy is activated, the stop loss would be just below the previous swing low, and we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio like this, which would be around the upper resistance area, and as price approaches it, we'll be looking for sell setups. So that's it for USDJPY. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.